everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we are back again, and here now we have another video for you, and we're going to talk about the recent news that Jupiter's Legacy has been cancelled after the first season. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, Jupiter's Legacy was a Netflix produced superhero series based on a comic book created by Mark Millar, and it was produced by Stephen D. Knight, and it debuted back on 7th of May 2021. Now, you can check out my review of the first season of Jupiter's Legacy on the channel, and overall I thought it was a very good show. There was lots of potential going ahead for season 2 overall. Now, according to various articles, Netflix decided not to renew for a second season. It's been confirmed that all of the cast members have been renewed from their contract or released from their contract, and not one specific reason has been given, but there are certain rumours speculating that there were creative differences between Netflix and Millar. Whilst I enjoyed the series overall, it hasn't been quite as highly rated as recent shows such as The Boys. I think a lot of people find it very divisive. Not everybody was a fan of the certain costume looks. Some people felt that the episodes were too short. Some people felt overall that it really didn't quite delve into the source material that the way it should have done. And some people also had issues with some of the fight sequences and the action scenes. Some people felt they were a bit too clunky and a bit too uncoordinated overall. But as I mentioned before, I think it was good enough to go on for maybe season 2 or season 3. Now, there have been other reports confirming that the show cost around $200 million. So that's quite a hefty price tag to cancel after one season. You'd like to think that with that sort of budget, they'd like to give the show 2 to 3 seasons overall to see if it can truly connect with audiences, because even the most famous of shows, they don't always hit the ground running in their first season. A lot of shows tend to take 2 to 3 seasons before they really cut into deep with audiences and become massive overall. Now, that's not to say that a show, if it has a truly awful first season, it has to automatically be given a pass, if you like. We still criticise these shows on the same criteria. But as I mentioned before, Jupiter's Legacy was good enough and solid enough, I think, to deserve a second season. But it also raises the question about Netflix, and if you know Netflix and you watch a lot of these television shows, they really tend not to renew shows past a second season, no matter how good or bad they are. They spend a lot of money on these shows. Recent example is Marco Polo, if you remember, for a couple of years back. Hugely expensive, and that got cancelled after 2 seasons. And it's just the way Netflix work. They go for this really kind of boom bust type of culture in terms of releasing their content. They like to dump all the content at once, and then it really kind of exhausts the potential trend or traction that a show can get. I think we all agree now that it's far more advantageous to a show to do the week-to-week release format. It just helps to keep the chat going. You can generate a lot of hype, a lot of buzz from that week-to-week release overall. But Netflix doesn't do that, and they spend a lot of money on these shows. So when you hear about these shows getting cancelled, it really does feel like such a waste. And you have to question, really, the financial position of Netflix. They are the leading subscriber when you compare to the likes of Amazon and Disney+. But how much longer can it be sustained if they continue to spend north of $200 million for these shows and not really give the shows a chance to really expand their wings and connect with audiences overall? So I just think it's a bit of a shame overall. Maybe Netflix should question the way that they run their overall content. But apparently they are opting to go for a superhero series called Super Crooks, which is based on a group of supervillains overall, and it's much more of a heist type of storyline. Now, it does take place in the same universe as Jupiter's Legacy, so they were hinting that maybe perhaps some of the characters from Jupiter's Legacy could maybe make an appearance in Super Crooks. I very much doubt that, to be honest, because why would you cancel in the first place? Again, the smart play would have been to do a second season of Jupiter's Legacy and then do a first season of Super Crooks overall, and let audiences get established to both series, and then you can cross over if you wanted to do in the future overall. But I'll be very skeptical to see if that happens overall. I would imagine that Super Crooks will probably have a much more of a smaller budget. We do know that Netflix has struck a deal with Mark Millar to bring some of his concepts and his original projects to Netflix overall. So wait and see how that proceeds in the future. But like I said, it's just very much an unfortunate shame, because I really liked Jupiter's Legacy. I thought it had a lot of potential. I really liked all the cast performances. I felt there was a lot of depth to the show in terms of heroism and sticking to a code and how far heroes should go, and the legacy passing from the older to the younger generation. So there was a lot of good stuff in Jupiter's Legacy, and it's just a waste that we see a show with good quality get cancelled after one season, and then we get certain shows that are for less quality get extended for 5, 6, 7 seasons. So it's just a shame on that front, but we'll wait and see how the Super Crooks series comes in the long term. So those are my quick thoughts and feelings on Jupiter's Legacy being cancelled after its first season. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What do you think about Netflix approach to their content? Do you think they need to change? Should they go to the weekly format to give these shows much more of a chance to get more ratings? Do they really need to now rein in a lot on their budget? You know, 200 million, that is quite a lot of money if you're going to cancel a show after the first series or two. Okay, we compared to the Marvel shows, but if you remember, the Marvel shows are interconnected with the movie. So even though we get one season of WandaVision or Falcon of the Winter Soldier or Loki, you can continue those characters' journey in the movies, and then you can of course return them later in the shows as well. Netflix doesn't have that connection, so it'll be interesting to see what happens going ahead. But let me know what you feel in the comments below. Please also hit those like and subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, stay at safe distances, and I will see you very, very soon.